I think we both feel that, Minnesota is being progressive with their laws, not just with the same-sex marriage laws, but with just a lot of different issues. And we feel that Wisconsin's going backwards.
Alvin Berg and Vince Nelson have been a couple for 29 years. They own 2 gay nightclubs, one in Superior, Wisconsin, and another right across state lines in Duluth, Minnesota. They live in Superior, but when Minnesota passed same-sex marriage last May, they started to wonder if they're living in the wrong state.
We never really thought much about just living on the other side of the bridge in Wisconsin. But once the marriage thing happened, it means a lot to us to live in a state that recognizes us.
I'm Monica Davey for the New York Times. The twin ports of Duluth, Minnesota and Superior, Wisconsin sit roughly 5 miles apart, sharing the same steady chill off Lake Superior. Residents on both sides have long crossed back and forth without much thought about which state they're in. But ever since Democrats gained sole control over Minnesota's state government and Republicans over Wisconsin's, they're finding their lives diverging. A record 36 states, 23 Republican and 13 Democratic, now operate under single-party rule, making it easier than ever to pass partisan agendas. On issues like gay rights, gun control, abortion, and taxes, America is increasingly a nation divided. So this is a place where you can see really well both sides of this border. Over here you've got Superior, Wisconsin, and right here behind me you've got Duluth, Minnesota, and it's really a single community in some ways. They call it the Twin Ports, and people, live and work on both sides of this. In Duluth, Minnesota, I toured the Emmy Elecmetal foundry, which produces castings for milling hard rock minerals.
We spent in 2011 and 2012 a little over $23.5 million in what we called optimizing the facility, basically taking bottlenecks out of the facility to streamline it and then adding capacity.
Andy Fulton says a generous tax rebate from the state made this expansion more feasible. But last year, when Minnesota's government became all Democratic, it imposed a series of new business taxes.
So my $23.5 million wouldn't go as far the next time we were to do an expansion. And if the law had changed earlier, we might have looked at that investment differently.
Emmy Elecmetal is not about to pick up and move its 20-acre campus across state lines, but Fulton thinks the tax laws passed by Democrats in Minnesota could discourage other businesses from settling in the state.
It is a good state. It has many, many positive benefits to it, and there's nothing wrong with paying taxes to support that. But there comes to a point when the layering of taxes just becomes too onerous for business.
But for Vince Nelson and Alvin Berg, Minnesota offers personal freedom. As soon as they find a house, they plan to move to Duluth. And then they'll get married.
I said, well, when the day comes when I can get married where I live, I'll get married. And seeing I'm only 5 miles away now from being able to do that, that's my reasoning.